So you had 6 kids, because we talk a lot about kind of this, the term today is like dinks as far as the dual incomes, no kids, but
Yeah.
like so many women today are working and having kids. And do you think like your marriage would have been successful if you had to do the daycare thing with kids? And kind of what's your view on like doing the stay-at-home mom thing versus like, women with careers that then have their kids in daycare? Like, what do you view as optimal there?
I view as optimal where the mom can stay home
Mhm.
with the children. I honestly think that is the best case
Mhm.
scenario for our children to have their mother there nurturing them more than any other provider. Um, and I think it's one of the maybe the noblest thing a woman can do is to raise children. It's certainly the most humble. It's the most hidden thing you can do. And if a woman chooses to do that, she's going to wrestle with feeling unseen, feeling hidden, feeling that she doesn't have value. Um, and that's something her husband can really help her with because I know Steve did such an amazing job of coming home and building me up and encouraging me and thanking me for the investment that I was pouring into our family. Um, Thanking me on behalf of the children for being their mother, for being present, for giving them the benefit of my education. I mean, I have a college degree and I chose to stay home with my children, knowing that I could always use that when they were raised. But I think stay at home mothers are very passionate about the choice that they're making because it's such a difficult choice and it's such a sacrificial choice that we've wrestled with it enough to feel passionate. In our culture, I also know women who work feel equally passionate about their decision, I think for different reasons. Um, I know there is research out there that says there's no difference for the children who are raised in daycare and the children who are raised at home. I just can't
But I
believe
don't
that.
buy that for a second.
But I think that gives them solace if they're working, and maybe they've never known a difference. Maybe their mother worked, um, and maybe they are frustrated with the fact that they feel they have to work and they're forced into it. And I just have a lot of compassion for those women. So I hate making blanket statements because I know how challenging it is for them. I can tell you how the sacrifices I made to stay home, and they were a lot. I mean, we lived in 1,000 square foot home with 5 children. We didn't have air conditioning. I mean, and some people would say they would have all kinds of reactions to it, but we chose that because we chose for me to stay at home. That was the priority. So it was
That's
kind of like
awesome.
whatever sacrifice we have to make, we'll make it. And we were in it together. He was helping me mentally, I was helping him mentally. And if you're not in that place and if you don't have your husband's support, then you probably wouldn't be successful trying to make it work by staying at home. I mean, there's a lot of men putting pressure on their wives to work because either A, they don't want 100% of the pressure of providing for the family, or B, the two of them have dreams for what they think it's going to look like to be a successful family. And that might include, a bedroom for every child and a vacation every year. Um, Putting money into the children's college fund every year, buying the kids a car. I mean, there's all kinds of parameters, and some of those have to do with how you were each raised. And that's one thing Steve and I discovered is we were raised differently. I mean, in terms of the car thing, his parents bought each of their kids a car when they turned 16. It was a used car, but they bought it for them. And my parents didn't do that. So the different things that you bring to the table that you think you have to do for your children, um, there's reason for that. There's emotion for that. So it's something to discuss. But that would be my ideal.
Yeah, and that's what we agree on. Like we kind of call Christians to, you're going to have to sacrifice for your kids. That's
Mm-hmm.
likely going to, in today's culture, it's tough to make it on one income.
It
And,
is.
but it's obviously better for the children. So what's more important? Is it more important that they have their iPhone and brand new, everything, or is it more important that their mother's home with them and they're in a better environment than a daycare and seeing their family, for 2 hours every night?
Mhm.